Alrighty, this is. Let me over explain probably the longer version because there's no way I'm gonna put this down into like 3 minutes. So, so let's talk about confession. Confessing. Not like in a fucking church. I'm talking about freaking, declaring your love for another person. Or whatever. Right? But honestly though, some of y'all need to go to church. Some of y'all gotta go to a church for sure. But as to give you some credibility on myself, because I do not give a fuck about rejection. Is it rejection therapy? Like, I don't need to do rejection therapy. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think. But like, literally, like, let's just say there are 10 people, and I probably confessed to like 9 of them already. Just saying, I have really good credibility on confess. Oh, Dad. Oh, I wrote my notes down because honestly, your girl has no brain. I'm like, So, just saying. Like, let's be honest now. Confessing should be like your last resort. Not result, resort. Unless you're like really bold, and honestly, like, you can do that too. Like, I do that sometimes too. Where I'll be like, oh yeah, I have feelings for you. And then I just move on with my life. And I walk away. I don't even get an answer. I just walk away. But let's talk about some signs on if this motherfucker or woman fucker is worth your time, So, this is like, usually I feel like confessing usually comes from like, oh, you being friends with them, and then you want to be more than just friends. Because like, I feel like if you're a stranger, right, you would never have this problem, like where like, you have to be like, oh yeah, I'm like confessing my feelings, I want to be, like more than just friends. But I feel like if you're strangers, it's like, oh, and let's say you meet them on a dating app, they probably know. If they don't know, why are they on the dating app? Like, why are they on the dating app? So, just saying. Alrighty, the next step is, this is just me being straight up. Why do you even think they like you? So like, literally, like, I feel like usually confessions happen when you like feel like reciprocated in some sort of way. Like, oh yeah, like this person like opened the door for me this one time out of 30. I'm delusional as fuck too. I used to do that too. I'll be like, yeah, this person like I'll be like, I remember this one time I was like hanging out with someone, but I would always ask them to hang out, and I'm like, wow, they actually like want to hang out with me, but I feel like they were just they had no back, and then they just felt like they had to. But that ain't the point. And also, these are the signs that you should pick up. The signs that you would see if you should even bother confessing to them, which is, there's 3 of them. Creating conflicts with you, replying. Well, not really replying. If they reply to you, like, let's just say as an example, right? You ask them, how are they doing? And they say, I'm good. And that's it. They don't ask you how you're doing. You ask them, like, what are they doing right now? I'm doing this. They don't ask you what you're doing. That's considered replying. Honestly, not worth your time. If they just do that. So just to be straight up, I think that's the biggest sign. The second one is to actually making time to like hang out with you. Like actually making like plans. And I'll be honest, like for me personally, dealing with men, like I'm always the one that's like initiating. So like yeah, just date a man that actually like initiates, like actually wanting to hang out with you and be with you. Because honestly, like, why would you be with someone that doesn't like bother like that your presence and like wants to be in your presence? I'm just saying. And last one is when you tell them that you're sad, and then they shouldn't say this. This is like the line. They shouldn't say this. They say like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." When they tell you that, fucking run away, bruh. if you want that man or woman, I never judge, but man or woman, I don't know who the fuck is watching. if they don't want to fix it, if they don't want to try to fix it, they're not worth your time. Because honestly, like, why be with someone that like legit doesn't make your life easier, you know? So yeah, so literally if they like, if you tell them that you're sad, and then they say sorry to hear that, instead of being like, oh, like, how can I help you? How can I like make you feel better? How can I do this and that? You know, like, really, like, that's what you want to be with. I'll be honest. Or as another step, they're fucking flirting with you, but they're dumb as fuck. Oh, I have more steps. More steps. Oh, I have more signs. I'm just joking. But if they're like really dumb and really clueless, I guess you can confess to them. That's totally not what I did with my Essa. I got really mad, and then I just confessed because they're taking too long. They're taking too long. Apparently, there are 2 more signs, which is when you use a sentence, but you always like midway you say but. So usually like they are but you know, like they're like, oh, they are emotionally unavailable, but they're like funny, you know. So that's when, like, if you see anything that's like, honestly, like, I don't think it's worth your time if you like literally have to like give excuses for them, which is like also the 5th point, which is literally if you just hesitate, like literally you're like, like if you can't accept how they are right now, let's just say like right now, right, you like are interested in a person, they're like, and they are like really flaky, right? What if they never get rid of their flakiness? You know, like what if like they like literally are always flaky, they'll never change that about themselves, like really no matter how much you talk to them, communicate with them, they probably would never do it. Like, you know, like I feel like you just have to like be with someone that like, you know, that like you just want to be with at the spot. Like this is it, like, you know, like they're probably not gonna treat you the better, they're just gonna be how they are, period, you know. It's kind of different if it's like financials. I feel like financials is kind of different. Don't be freaking dating someone that does gambling and stuff. But you know, I feel it's like you'd be more lenient with financials. Cause like, oh, like what if you're like a college student, right? You're fucking like 19, 20 years old and you have no job. You're just going to school. Like, yeah, like, you know, you should be more lenient. You know. But obviously they're fucking like 27 or 28. I feel like you should, you know, cut it, you know. So we're on to our next point, which is actually the confession part, which is like my favorite part because it's kind of funny. Well, I love like the notes I wrote for myself because I'm just like I literally wrote, now you figure out if you want to risk it, and honestly they aren't worth it, which is kind of true. Like I said, right, I've confessed to probably 9 people out of 10, and they were not worth it. I literally it only went for me on the 11th try. So that's kind of saying something. But if you like, you know, you don't have to be like as like risk taker as I am, you know. Because normally when I like confess, it's usually just to get over them, and I'm like, you know, I'm at the last straw in my like crush on this motherfucker, and you know, I'm just gonna move on, you know. So then I just tell them, because you know, why suffer alone when you can tell the other person how much you like them, and then you said that you just moved on, you know. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's how I am. Like literally, if you like just like confess, you can just do it. If you have no like literally like since you're at the end, right? You're like literally already moved on. You don't really need to like be too pressed about it, you know? So yeah, that's why I wrote too. I was like, instead of like saying, "Oh, I like you," I say, "I used to like you," and honestly, it does a job too because like literally you already moved on, right? And then like you don't really like you don't need to be like, "Yeah, I like you right now," because like honestly, like when you confess to a person and them reciprocating, it's probably like 1% or less than 1%. You know, and that's why I say I got lucky. Because of I definitely got lucky with my partner or whatever. Because honestly though, yeah, like literally, I'm just saying I got lucky. But yeah, maybe it would work. Maybe you'll get lucky that like less than 1% you'll get lucky and they will reciprocate your feelings. But honestly, like for ladies, right? Like I've been told like, oh yeah, man likes when like a lady's really bold and take the first move and blah blah blah. Honestly, yeah, I get it, but also I don't get it. So I don't know. You can give or take that, but honestly, I don't know. I feel like a man should, just chase. Just chase. I'm just saying. But I don't know. For women though, from my experience, I don't know. I feel like really anxious, fucking chasing after a woman. Like literally, like I'm like, you cannot be this pretty. For men, it's kind of different because it's like, oh, you're like okay, but for a woman though, I'm like, but yeah, I think that's it. I don't know what else to say. Well, good luck to y'all if y'all confess. If you don't confess, it is also okay as well. Because honestly, who gives a fuck? Okay. Bye-bye.